What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about why I'm going to be buying Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. This is kind of possibly a new series that I want to try, at least on the channel. Talk about some games that either I'm going to buy, I'm maybe a little hesitant on, or I'm just flat out not going to buy. And this gives me an honest chance of telling you guys what I'm looking forward for the game, like for me to actually play the game, why I'm excited, and see if I can get a little bit of that Alex personality to rub off on you guys, or see where you guys stand on these specific games. So I wanted to start it with none other than Ratchet and Clank. I think it's a really good game to start on, and again, I want to talk about why I'm going to buy the game and maybe why you guys should as well. If you guys are new here or you haven't already, make sure, as always, you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. Give this video a like. Definitely helps these videos out a ton on YouTube. And we're going to be covering Ratchet and Clank a lot more on this channel it comes out literally 1 week today, at least hopefully, depending on when this video goes up. But I cannot wait. We're going to be talking a lot about the game when the game's actually out. We'll do a review, all that good stuff. Okay, so in terms of gushing about this game, look, we've talked about how long we think the game is going to take to beat. We talked about the review score predictions. Now, the review embargo actually lifts on Tuesday, so that's when we'll be able to see what review scores are for the game. I'll be covering that on this channel. I'm just pumped. And honestly, what I think makes this a little bit different than normal, and as I've told you guys in past videos, is I'm not even the biggest Ratchet and Clank fan. When it comes to my childhood, now I'm 24, I turned 25 in June, I grew up on games like Sly Cooper. Now I was like 8, 9, 10 when I started playing Sly Cooper, but that was the game I grew up. Even the game I guess before then, the very first game was, I would say, Crash Bandicoot. Crash and then Sly and Sly being like the one for me was my big ones. I never really was into Jak and Daxter. I never really was into Ratchet and Clank. I played them, or I would go to my friend's house and we would play them, but I wasn't all that interested. And as I've said before, the first Ratchet and Clank game I really jumped into like head on was 2016's reboot, kind of remake almost game of, Ratchet and Clank 2016. And I thought, I kind of went in with zero expectations because, again, I didn't really care all that much. And the game was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And I absolutely loved it. So when it comes to this game, I think part of the reason why I am so excited and why I am, looking forward to buying it is because although this has Game of the Year contender written all over it, okay? Now, there could definitely be better games, or maybe some people could scoff at the idea that this game would be considered Game of the Year or even a Game of the Year contender, but it visually looks amazing. Like I said, even in the review score prediction, I think if the story holds together, these characters are very likable, they're very good. I really think they have, and then using, the PS5 technology really to help this game out, I think it really has everything it needs to be a Game of the Year contender. But the bigger point is, although it has that, to be honest with you, my expectations for this game are actually like, it's weird because I'm not really thinking about this game all that much. Does that make sense? Like, I know I'm making loads of videos, and I actually, when I'm recording these, I talk about this game maybe every other day, maybe like every third day I'm talking about this game. But still, even as I talk about it, I'm not really getting myself like overly like, I know I'm gonna like the game, I know the game's gonna be good, and that's it. And I've said that before with games like Crash Bandicoot 4 that came out last year. It was a very safe game where it's like, I don't need to see more gameplay, I don't need to see trailers, I know what I'm gonna get, they know what they're doing, I believe, and like, it's safe. And so I think for me, that lowers my, I guess you could say it lowers my guard too, right? Because if the game's then bad, it's like, oh shoot, I didn't expect that. But it really is like, I'm not freaking out, although I'm making a lot, even like Resident Evil, like I made so many videos, I was talking about that game all the time, and I think you build up an expectation when you do that. For Ratchet and Clank, for whatever reason, I'm not really building it up too high in my head, when in reality, I think this game could be better than Returnal. I think this game could be the best PS5 exclusive that's out. Now, it doesn't have the most competition. It's got Returnal, Destruction All-Stars, technically. It's got Demon Souls, right? It has a couple, but for the most part, I think I wouldn't say it's relatively easy, because Returnal is a really good game, and Demon Souls is a really good game, but those are also very specific games that please specific people. I am one of them, but Ratchet and Clank, I think, is a little bit more big. It's a little bit bigger in terms of who it applies to. But again, in terms of why I'm buying this game, yeah, it's $70. It is expensive for sure, but I'm just expecting a really solid game. If it doesn't blow me away entirely. To be honest with you, it's not the biggest deal in the world, but I also just don't think it's going to be bad. Like, I would be shocked if this game is going to be bad. Because what I see, and again, I've summarized it, I see a game that visually, really, you can't beat it right now. There's really, I mean, okay, like The Last of Us Part 2, like that in terms of realism and stuff like that. And there's other games, and I've told you guys before, like, I like different art styles of games. So a game like Kena, Bridge of Spirits, or if you've seen like Everwild from Microsoft, which is still maybe a year or so away, but like those kind of games, like the cell shading kind of game, I love them. I love them to death. Again, like a game like Returnal looks really pretty. Demon Souls, like there's a lot of different games I'm into for looks. But I mean, this we've said Pixar movie before. I even said Knack looked like a Pixar movie when we first saw Knack back in the PS4 days. But in reality, I think like this is as close as you get right now. And so I can't even believe how good Ratchet and Clank looks. We talked about the PS5 technology in terms of really taking advantage of the fast loading times, and again, like that's a small thing. I think to some people it could be a small thing just in general, but when you can load literally a different dimension in this game in a quarter of a second, like it's astounding. You know what I mean? So that is amazing. I love the DualSense. I've talked about that before, right? I really believe they're gonna do some fun things with that. And then the rest, like I said, it's very like that's why I'm going. To be honest with you, I'm going to be like I'm going to buy the game to be visually. Really, I want to applaud them in terms of visuals. So I want to be kind of taken to another level with visuals, with the loading, with the technology as a whole. And then the rest, I'm just expecting it to hold, like it to be solid. I'm not expecting the best put together gameplay on planet Earth. At the same time, we are talking about Insomniac, we are talking about Ratchet and Clank. And I mean, Ratchet and Clank, it's no slouch. That's another thing to remember too. Like, although I haven't necessarily been a fan all that long, or even like that much of a mega fan, these games have never really been bad. Like, they've been average, or they haven't been as good as others, but they've never been like, oh, this is a god-awful game. There's always something, whether it's a new character, whether it's the story, whether it's just characters in general, whether it's the gameplay. I mean, it's, again, Insomniac, we know them from Resistance with their really creative guns and just the different weapons that they do and all. I mean, really, that kind of was made with Ratchet and Clank. That's really where they started. So, like, different weapons that do different things, all that stuff, like, it's gonna be fun. That's that's like the thing with this game. Same thing with, like, Crash, where it's like, I just feel like I don't have to worry too much about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to go in and, like, the game's going to feel fine. At worst, it's going to feel fine. At best, it's going to be like, oh my God, this is revolutionary. You know what I mean? The story, the characters, I think they will hold. I think they'll be fine. And that's, again, at worst. I don't think it'll be the worst put together story. I don't think these characters are just going to all of a sudden randomly suck. I think, at worst, they could just be okay. They could be outshined by other things. But I do think, but I mean, again, like on the other side of things, they could be absolutely amazing. So again, when I talk about games being safe, I don't really say that as a negative, like, oh, they're safe, as in like they can't even reach high heights. They're kind of just in this middle area. Not really. I mean, I put this game safely in a very, very much above average game. Like, I really feel like good is the worst we're going to be saying about this game. You know what I mean? And that's where I'm putting it. So I cannot wait. Again, I mean, the more I talk about it, I definitely do get excited, but I do think maybe my lack of super focusing on it and super excitement for it, maybe it's going to help, because maybe I could be blown away. I'll play the game and be like, dear Jesus Christ, this is the best game that came out this year by a mile, and maybe it's because I wasn't expecting certain things. So that is why I am buying this game. And like I said, I want to try this kind of series out with other games, see if you guys like it. If you don't like it, I will throw it in the trash, and we will try some other topics when it comes to these games. But if you guys do like it, I can definitely make it something that I do going forward, okay? Let me know in the comments below, guys. What do you think? Are you going to buy the game? Are you interested in it? Are you not going to buy it? Let me know reasons and all that stuff in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon, hit the like button, all that stuff. Again, greatly obviously helps the YouTube channel out. We will be covering Ratchet and Clank quite a ton. We've already done it a bunch, but we're going to be just constantly, every couple of days there'll be a new Ratchet and Clank video, and then when the game comes out, we'll be covering it as well. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you all on the next video.